You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting season. Come on, won't you sing with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to guests, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna live the dream. Gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing a song to the break of dawn. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready, you got one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting season. Come on, won't you sing with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world. Let's show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the PlayStation Collectors Podcast, season number 3. This is episode 20. And tonight we welcome Chris to the show from Explosive Gaming. What's up, Chris?
Hey, not much. Thanks for having me on, guys.
What's going on, brother? Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for being here, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I love the opening. I love to get up and dance every time I hear it.
It's so
Nice.
good. I sing along every time. I'm glad that Joe mutes us.
Yeah.
I had to. That's why I had to, because if you don't, you'll hear him butt singing along in the background.
There was
It's
points
so
where Joe
catchy.
was like unmuting me at like the 40-second mark, and you just hear me singing over the back.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a banger, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. Joe did the song all himself, so all the credit
Yeah,
goes to
good
him.
work, dude. It's fantastic.
It was a super easy song. It's like literally like the easiest song in the world. But thank you.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and I like watching all of everything you mashed together for the video too. It's really cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's just fun. It's supposed to be just a good, fun song. If I actually tried to make it like good, I would make it bad. You know what I mean? But I was just like, oh, I'll just throw it together real quick. So that's why it's good, because I didn't really like try too hard.
I mean,
you
how
know
that
what I
works,
mean?
right?
Yeah, if I like really tried, it would be like there'd be like 32 guitar parts and like there'd be like flutes and shit, and be like, what is all this? I don't know, man. I just got way too into this intro.
Saxophone solo. And
Yeah, but like, did you literally hire a choir from a Southern Baptist church? Yes, I did.
I can't help myself. It needed to be good.
We can't wait. It's 11 minutes, Joe. I'm like, I don't know.
It is the podcast now.
the ballad. That's just part 1. Part 2 is coming next.
Yeah.
And then you got a 12-minute
Amazing.
outro as well.
Yeah, no. So eventually, someday, I'll be like, I'm gonna do a new song for the intro, and no matter what, everyone will be like, nah, I don't like it. I like the old song. That's just what's gonna
You'll
happen, no matter what.
Listen to it and cry.
Mm.
Well, but if you get what it is, it's catchy. So regardless if you like it or not, it becomes like one of those jingles that you just start singing.
Well, yeah, that's the
exactly
idea.
what it is.
Yeah, you want it to be like like forcefully stuck in people's head, like against their will. Yeah. So like people just have to hear it, you know. Yeah, it's the only way to get it out. Sometimes you have to listen to the song. You know what I'm talking about. You've had a song stuck in your head, and you just have to listen to it. It's the only way to get rid of it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah,
And then
I just said that
it's stuck
yesterday.
there
Sometimes
again.
you just have to.
I have that with Beat Saber now all the time. Like I love Beat Saber, but like if I don't play it for like a while, I'll start to like sing the songs in my head and be like, nah, damn, I need to play that. Like I have to just to like get it out of my head for a little while. I don't know.
See the
One of
blocks
my
flying
buddies
at you when you're
streams Geoguess that does a music stream once a week and just plays new music. And always go through and mention these bands, and I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that phrases. And then I have to like mute it and listen to like one of their songs. Like you have to, you just have to do it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's great. For everyone who doesn't know you, please tell us who you are and what you do, man.
Yeah, so my name is Chris. I host a podcast called xbuttongaming Podcast. I've been doing it for a couple years now. Basically, we just talk about anything video game related and a lot of collecting talk too, because me and a couple of friends locally and are really into collecting, and I like to have anybody on who likes to talk about whatever. I've tried to make the podcast kind of like focused on having people on who want to talk about a subject they want to talk about, because I think people being passionate about something makes for the best content sometimes. We're all passionate about video games, but topics tend to change between people. Like not everybody's passionate about the same type of games or same consoles or whatever. So I try to let people choose the topic so that they can kind of make sure it's something they want to talk about, makes them more comfortable. But yeah, I've been doing that for a couple of years now. But all in all, as far as gaming goes, I'm 36 now. I've been playing as long as I can remember. Grew up with Super Nintendo, and I've been collecting since my teens. So off and on. I sold a lot of my collection at one point, which sucked, but I had to do it. And I've been rebuilding again. But I kept a lot of the big stuff from back then.
Awesome, man.
So we do the opposite. We're actually going to talk about the Philips CDI today. So hope you're ready.
Let's do it.
We go for what people do not know anything about. I'm just kidding.
So have you guys got your assignments on the Philips CDI? They're due.
Oh, let's do it, man.
Quiz is getting serious. We've got work due in.
Yeah, I've never played one, but I picked up a lot on Craigslist 15 years ago, probably, and they had a stack of CDI games, but they were all like educational and like
terrible
games. I didn't even know they existed. I was like, what do I do with these? This doesn't make me want a CDI. So I think I ended up trading them off for something, but for somebody who wanted them. But that console has way more of a library than I realized.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting console. I've never played one myself. It's one of those things that unless you specifically look for that stuff, you're not going to find it.
No, the CDI and the 3DO, but both of those consoles were just absurdly expensive when they came out, like way too expensive compared to other consoles at the time. They're like $300-400 in the 90s, which is just
I think it equivalents to like almost $2,000 today for a brand new console.
It was just wild, and like I can't remember which one I played. I think it was the 3DO, but I played Gex on one of them and in a Radio Shack somewhere, and I was like, "This is cool. This isn't worth $400. You're insane. Like, what are you talking? Like, no way. Like, PlayStation was out at this time. I'm like, you get that for like $200, something like that. So
yeah, I was too young, but I would be curious as to who they were really trying to market to, because I mean, yeah, I got video game magazines back then, and I don't remember even ever seeing anything about it. Like, it wasn't marketed super well.
It was for the digital encyclopedia learning market, because everybody it was just the biggest thing at the time.
Here's a theory. Maybe they were trying to target so people went into video games then, and parents obviously never played them, so maybe they were trying to make video games be more like an educational thing. Yeah, we're gonna get this one because you'll learn on it. You won't learn with the Nintendo.
It's the grandma console. Yeah, it's like the grandma.
I can see the theory behind the marketing, early 90s.
No, that makes sense.
It also came out before the PS1, right? So it did have something going for it, and then the PS1 came out and sort of killed that dream.
I think everybody has like an aunt, uncle, or grandparent that buys them educational gifts for your birthday or Christmas or something. You're always like, "Oh, great. A book about Latin." Yeah, thanks.
Hooray.
Sweet.
Encyclopedias. Did you just get encyclopedias as kids?
No. But I mean, I'm sure like kids got them damn like Christian games and stuff for Christmas. I bet everybody had like family members for that too. They got like the Noah's Ark game, the FPS game and stuff. I bet you.
That was my mom would always buy me the like most kiddie games possible, which when I was young was fine, but when I was like a teenage, like 13, 14, and she'd bring home like the licensed IP games, I was like, I don't want this. Like, stop.
Yeah, no, definitely. They still do the type of educational games these days. There's a system called the Leapfrog, and it's literally just like a little kid's system of educational games. Like, if you look it up, there's 30 or 40 games for the library. There'll be people out there collecting for it one day. They're actually terrible systems, though. They have this parental lock on them, and there's like no way to bypass the parental lock. Like you can get into phones and computers, you can't get into like this leapfrog device.
That's
So I remember
crazy.
when I was in the 5th grade, we had this thing called the Geo Safari. I don't know, do you have any idea what that is? But you would have loved this, Figsy, because it was like a geography game.
Oh,
And it was like it was the closest thing that we had to like a computer game in the 5th grade, other than like that we had like a computer lab where you could play like Oregon Trail and stuff like that. But this thing was like this little like, I don't know, like it was kind of like a leapfrog thing, like you said. It was like one of those like educational toys, and it was all about like guessing capitals and countries and all that stuff. And like I remember it was like a reward you got to play with that thing. It was like if you like did what you're supposed to, like my teacher would be like, all right, we'll let you go play with the thing for 45 minutes. Like, yes, just Safari.
Let's go.
and I can imagine it would just be like one lot of text popping up in like 5 seconds between responses.
Mm. Yeah, dude, it was pretty simple stuff, but I loved it. But yeah, you could just tell like I was just always addicted to games, man. From the very first moment I played Atari, I was like, yo, I like this. Like
This
any
is
type
it.
of game. Yeah, dude. Like I don't care. You gave me a Tiger handheld electronic games, I was down with that. I'm like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
let's go.
I had a Game.com and that thing was trash, but I liked it. I learned to like it when I was a kid. I was
What
just
is it?
happy to have something. The Tiger
Game-
Game.com, it was their like it was an
Okay.
LCD screen thing, but it was their attempt to do like a handheld console.
Okay.
It came out, it was probably about the same time the Game Boy Color was out. But it was a black and white LCD screen, and they had a couple of pretty decent like names on it. They had Sonic, Virtua Fighter,
Really?
and yeah, even Resident Evil 2 was on it, but they're all
What?
terrible versions. Yeah.
Does Reggie know that there's a Resident Evil 2 on that thing? He's gotta know. He must have.
He's got to know. I have it. It's sealed. I've never played it, but yeah, it's a wild little system. But nothing played well on it. But as a kid, I liked it because I was like you. Like I was just happy to have something to play video games on.
Did
Yeah,
you
it
guys
didn't
have a
matter what you
Tiger?
had.
Did you guys get Tiger stuff in Australia? Those little handhelds that were like not real games. They were like out like I don't know what kind of screens, LCDs or whatever. But they had like
Yeah,
little
yeah.
LCD
So
thing.
I definitely had them as well. I don't know what they were called over here, but like it was a long-looking Game Boy that I remember this one I had that it was like a more complex version of Snake, and I loved it. I was addicted to this thing, and yeah, it was awesome. It was before even like the Nokia phones were out, so yeah, it was fun playing.
Oh yeah,
Snake
this
and
was
stuff like that.
this was way before our phones when these things were.
I do
popular.
remember that. I remember even as a kid, for me, Tetris was the game that was around on everything. So Tetris was one that I didn't enjoy playing. Everything else I loved.
So Tetris was like big with the Game Boy. Everybody, I think it came with it. It was like a pack in, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So like, I think everybody I knew had it from that, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like everybody's-
everyone had Tetris, and Tetris was on all those little devices.
If we'd
Comes
only
with
bought it on
3
the
games. One of them's Tetris. The other 2 are really cool. I also had a PC when I was that was my first experience to gaming was a PC. It wasn't a console. And then the one game that Dad bought for me didn't work on the PC. So I never got to play
dang.
that. But I remember watching the computer man who sold it to us play it, and it looked really cool. But we bought this thing called 100 Games, and it was 100 like flash games. And it was a little bit of everything. It had the whole like you're got to move the blocks around and put them in the right spot to get through the levels, and had things like there's 10 lines on the screen and you have to go around. And have you played Sliverio.io? It's a really popular like browser game. So they got 300 snakes, and you've got to get someone to run to the side of you.
Oh yeah. I have seen that. Like everybody's like trying to like eat each other up and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I used to play this in the 90s on my PC, but with just the AI and myself, and it was just everyone was a different color, and you go around getting bigger, and you got to get them. I loved it, man. And there was 100 of these things. Some of the games, there would have been like 60 card games on there. Any 100 games, let's fill them up with every version of card games. So it's but there were
All the solitaire.
probably 30 or 40 genuine games on there. That was my first like real gaming experience, I guess. I would have been like 4 years old.
Your gateway drug.
Yeah.
Figs, your mic's kind of cutting out a little bit, man. I don't know why. Like the gates on it.
Whatever. Is that better?
Yeah, that is better.
It seems better.
What was your first console, Chris? Where'd you start? You said Super Nintendo?
Yeah, my family, I was the youngest kid, and my family already had an NES by the time I was born, but like my first memories are with the Super Nintendo, really. Yeah, Super Mario World, the Donkey Kong, and Tetris Attack were the games I played the most back then. But yeah, that was definitely the console I put the most time in. We still had the NES, and I'd go back and play Mario 3 and a handful of other games, but I don't have as much nostalgia for the NES because, like I said, the Super Nintendo was already out, so we never bought anything else for it other than the handful of games we had.
Yeah, I still go back and play NES games quite often, and I definitely love them. But I could see people not being able to put in it takes some effort to put into them now. I don't know. They're just so unforgiving and like clunky and like glitchy. You know what I mean? Like a lot of NES games were like you fall through the floor where you're not supposed to, or like like the platforming.
They were
like
still
not
learning
quite
so
right,
much.
or it doesn't
Yeah.
look quite right. So like I love them, but yeah.
I never
still
grew up
more
with the
stuff on the
NES, so I don't
console.
want to go back and play them because to me it just looks like, oh, this is like the building blocks of this other game that came out on PS2 that's kind of cool, or something like that. And that's what almost every single one of those games are. It's just, oh, this game turned into this franchise that we all love today.
So if you like RPGs, I feel like a lot of old RPGs still kind of hold up because that experience is pretty formulaic, I guess, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And the graphics don't really matter that much. I mean, they do and they don't. So those are fun, but like, yeah, a lot of the action games, like they're designed to just be brutally difficult, and
That's the truth.
It can be tough. It takes a lot of discipline to try to actually like want to beat them. Like it's fun to play them, but like I think we talked about this last time, like that emulator thing where you have like if you have like a million games like that, it's like you just end up switching between them really fast. You don't like put your time into them that much, especially when the game's really hard and unforgiving and frustrating. You're like, okay, yeah, moving on. It's just like moving on in my life, So you have to like go in there and be like, I am going to freaking beat Contra, and that is all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna block everything out. We're just gonna play Contra, and then and then you can do it that way. But you gotta like honestly like set a goal and like And I still like every once in a while sit down and try to beat Contra, and I usually don't. It's really hard.
There are modern games like that.
Hard, man.
There are games out there that you just have to sit down and beat.
Yep. Well, I mean, I feel like that's gonna be for like older generations. It's like the Bloodborne games and the Souls games and stuff. Those harder games, like I think people like.
That's exactly what it is for me. Like I got Neo 2 sitting over there that I've put in my console like 10 times, and I'm still at the same part.
Yeah, that game's rough.
Well, I got the platinum in Neo 1, so I don't understand why I'm struggling so much in Neo 2.
Oh yeah, that's I never played either of them. I watched a friend play Neo, and that one was rough. He was struggling with it, and I was like, I don't even want to play this. But yeah, is the second one? Did they change it up?
Well, I think it's a really cool game, but I don't like the concept of doing missions. It's really old school to me. Where all the modern games in the same franchise, same like type of game are all open world games. It's a lot better. I don't like the mission base. When I sort of had a unique experience when the first Neo came out. I took time off work to play it and was playing it like 10 hours a day and got the platinum in like a week. So probably has something to do with it as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you ever finish Liza P?
No, I never finished it. It sort of coincided with my computer getting hacked, and I lost my save file and everything to it.
Oof.
I'm sure I can go back and do it again. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Once I lost all my progress, it just sort of stopped the desire to replay it.
Oh yeah, I get that. Certain games, it's so hard to go back to when you lose that progress.
Yeah. 100%.
Speaking of
This isn't
hacking-
one like that, but it's a sinking feeling, you know. You're like, all right, well, I got these other games I'm playing, so I'll play them first, and then I'll return to this later.
Did you
Yeah,
did you guys see that Retro Rick got hacked?
Yeah,
No.
I've seen that. I mean, it makes me feel really shit because I know how easy it is to get hacked now. Like, you can
Yeah, it's really
have
sad, man.
two-factor authentication and everything, but like, if someone wants to hack you, they hack you. Shit.
Dang,
Yeah.
man. It's messed up.
He got his
It
YouTube
is.
channel back.
So it's still called like microeconomics or something. Like the name hasn't switched back, I don't think. But like it looks like they were able to upload a couple of his videos back. And I don't know. I don't think it's fully back yet, but he's still working on it. But even if he gets it back, like I don't know. I think they might have deleted all his videos. And that's the if you make a lot of YouTube content for years, I mean, that's a lot of data. So most people do not keep that backed up on a PC. They'll just leave it on YouTube, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that unless he's got it all backed up somewhere, that he's going to like have lost a lot of his old videos. And that sucks. Like
Yeah, that
to
hurts.
me, like, yeah. And people don't understand, like if you're like his older series, like say someone watches his new stuff today, like there'll be plenty of people that will go back and watch his old videos again.
Mhm.
So it's eliminating quite a bit of revenue.
Well, most
from-
of his
from
revenue would
doing
come from
that.
the old stuff, really. Like, you don't realize like how
Yeah,
many millions
exactly.
views the old videos get. Like 90% of my views are all from old videos. You know?
And those are probably, once those are proven to be successful videos that people like watching, YouTube's like offering those to people, like, you know what I mean? Like they're suggesting them, and I don't know, it just sucks too. And like, you know, that's rough. Like if you're documenting your life, it's you know, it'd be one thing if you were writing a fictional TV show, I suppose, or something, but like sucks. That's like someone going in and deleting your home movies or like your personal, like some of those like are like videos he made with his kid or his dad or with his friends or whatever. And you know, and
Yeah,
someday he's gonna want to watch those with his kid or his, you know, or you know, I don't know. It just sucks on so many levels. Like people are
No,
just
that's actually
scum, dude.
really sad to hear. It's like, what do you actually do at that point? Because you can't. I mean, you can get like tons of hard drives and stuff, but it's not a realistic way to back that stuff up. Like, do you make a second YouTube channel and just leave it private with all your videos on it? That might be worth doing.
Well, he did have a second YouTube channel, luckily, which is actually how I even knew what was going on because he was posting on his other channel about it. But I doubt he had like all his stuff backed up there. So yeah, I mean, realistically, most people just aren't going to do that. They're not going to back that up.
Yeah, it's not a feasible thing. Like,
I ain't backing up these podcasts. I'll tell you that right now. There's so much
so
data.
funny you mention that, Joe, because I used to do that. Because, you know, when you first start a podcast, you got 5 episodes, 10 episodes, 20 episodes, 30 episodes. And then it got into season 2 and season 3. And it's just like, you know, I don't back anything up with the podcast. It just got absurd. I was then using like an external server. And then it just got to the point where it's like, oh, they're on iTunes, they're on Spotify, they're on X, they're on Facebook. Surely, you know, that's all good enough. Yeah, if you get hacked and you lose everything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I got hacked. The only thing I lost was my Discord. I had to I lost a Discord server with like 300 people in it. I had to make a new one, and you know, 200 of those people didn't join again. But that's how Discord is. And I lost my account too, which was like almost 10 years old. So my new account looks like a new account, and people treat you like you're some scammer because your account was made 2 months ago and things like that. And yeah, it kind of sucks, but I'm lucky I got everything else back.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you lose one thing, it sounds low, but if you lost everything, fuck, it's so hard.
Yeah. Just sad that people can't just let people have things, you know. Makes me think of thieves. I worked retail for a long time, worked at GameStop actually, and it drove me nuts. Thieves suck. Like, and hackers are just modern day, you know, storefront thieves.
Yeah, 100%. they're worse because they probably wouldn't do it in person. They only do it behind the screen.
Yeah, try to stay hidden. Where's your pride, man?
You got any crazy stories from working in GameStop back in the day?
I mean, I could go all day. I worked at GameStop for the better part of 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, at first I loved it, but I started in 2007, right after, actually late 2006. So like right about the time the Wii and the PS3 came out.
Yep.
And at first it wasn't bad. You know, it was never a great company, but it was fun to work there. But yeah, as time went on, it got worse. People, yeah, it's a very unforgiving job, and that company does not care about its employees. But yeah, I got robbed.
That's like the
a couple
number
times.
one theme. Everyone says is like they don't care about retention at all. It's just turnover. They don't care.
Or even if your
That's
manager
the number.
cares, the like district manager will treat your manager like shit, and then it forces onto the store. And
I think the reason I stayed around as long as I did is because I was lucky. I was a manager for a while, but I worked with the same district manager from when I started to when I was in management. He was great. Like I think
Nice.
that was lucky in that case because that's the first level where it usually sucks the most. Yeah, but once he got canned, there was no reason to be there anymore because everybody above him sucked. But yeah, no, I got robbed at gunpoint at one store that I worked at. We got tied up and everything.
Fucking hell, man.
So that was exciting, I guess. But yeah, I mean, you had things happen all the time that I have been called every name in the book. Like if you can think up an insult, I've probably actually been called it by somebody. I think
I can relate to you on that. I worked in a pawn shop, and yeah, you copped everything under the book when you got to tell people that they can't have what they want.
Yeah, I bet that happens. Yeah. I think my final straw and the worst, probably one of the worst insults. Well, it wasn't even an insult. It was just like, what is going on with my life? Why am I still here? Was there was a lady who was trying to return her Xbox One. That was a year past its warranty. So it was way out of warranty, any store warranty, and it was outside of the Microsoft warranty. But so I was just like, we can't do anything.
So like 2 years old, basically, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry, it's way out of warranty. There's nothing we can do. You can try calling Microsoft, but yada yada. And she looks at me and she says, "You're going to come out to my car and tell my disabled daughter that you're not going to return her Xbox for you." And I was like, "Ma'am, that's not my responsibility. I'm not going to do that." And she was like, "Oh," and then the store is full. This is Christmas time. And she's like, "Oh, so you hate disabled children?" And she's like yelling this. And I'm like, how did you get that from? I'm like, I legitimately just can't return your Xbox. But
I
yeah,
would have been like,
she's
"You
doing
got
fake
me."
fit.
Yes, I do.
You're the Grinch.
You got me. Yeah, man. There's a lot of good customers, but people are crazy. Yeah, I don't miss it. I miss the good times, but I never get those back. I don't miss GameStop.
Yeah, 100%. I really got into a YouTube genre of ex GameStop employees talking about their experiences, and there's like thousands of YouTube videos about ex GameStop employees. So I did love asking the question. If you had a good district manager, it sounds like you had a pretty good experience overall.
I know
that made a big difference.
I know a lot of guys that also did build decent collections working there over the years. I mean, you could come across some good stuff if you were paying attention. And GameStop is good for used games. Like I've always felt like if you want used games, they're fantastic. They're new games.
It's a crapshoot.
I know. With their idea, what we've talked about this a million times, what they think is new is just okay. Whatever, guys.
Yeah.
New to me is sealed. Sealed, brand new. Like if on eBay, if you say it's new, like it comes sealed.
100%.
You can't. So yeah.
Yeah. And they've gotten more into the retro market again. And we have a decent amount of stores. I live in the Seattle area, and there's a lot of stores around here. And I'll go when I'm driving around, I'll stop at stores, and I actually find retro stuff a lot, but I'm shocked at how often I see reproduction cart, like when they have like a Game Boy cart or a 64 cart. A lot of times they're repros, and the sticker is just like terrible. It doesn't even look remotely real, and the employees have no idea. And I'm just like, I always feel bad. Sometimes I'll say something, sometimes I won't, but I try to just tell them like, hey, this is a repro, but they don't care. And I just
Well,
feel
you
bad
nailed
for
it on the
the
head. The employees have no idea because there's
yeah,
plenty of actual game, like just game shops in Seattle. And if you go to any of those other stores, the employees are collectors themselves, and like,
exactly.
you bring stuff in, and they know what the retro stuff is, or they pull the board off and they can check it out, and
Hmm.
that's what I mean. GameStop can't do that because they can't afford to train people up to do that. It's not a feasible business model for 10,000 plus stores.
Yep, not at
Mm-mm.
all. And most of the employees nowadays just don't. Every once in a while, you go into a store and it's a good employee, but most of the time they just seem tired. I feel bad for them. Like they don't want to be there. But
Which
yeah, GameStop's still a
just
good place to
goes to
find
show
stuff.
that they've probably been treated badly.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never treat a game retail. I don't try to treat anybody bad, but I'll never treat a retail employee badly unless they're just
No.
actually being terrible people. Like because I know it's a thankless job.
I
Yeah,
wonder if you were working in GameStop in 2016, because I visited almost every GameStop in Seattle in 2016.
2016.
Yeah,
That
he
would have
went
been
there
right at
to
that
return
point.
an Xbox.
Yeah. Oh man. I think I think I quit at the beginning of 2016. So
Okay, I probably just missed you then. I was out there buying all the PS3 games I could find.
smart. They were cheap.
Yeah, I took a suitcase home. I brought an empty suitcase over and filled it up with PS3 games and took it home. It was fun.
Yeah, super smart.
Yeah, so I think everybody thinks when who's into gaming, like when they're young, thinks it would be fun to work at a GameStop. Games are fun. That'd be great. I could work at something fun that I like. It's not fun. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like people are like, it'll be fun to work at Barnes and Noble. I love books. No, it's not.
No. Yeah, that
Or Newbury Comics. Everybody I know wanted to work at Newbury Comics, and I'm like, now that actually probably was fun, but they would pay you like negative $1 an hour to work there. Like they would not pay you any money. They'd be like, it's a privilege. We're lucky we're letting you hang out here and to talk about music all day. That's how it was
Enjoy.
with that place. Yeah, like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I had people come in all the time, kids, adults, didn't matter, and they'd be like, "Oh, you must be just so happy you work at GameStop and you play video games all day." I'm like, "Look at my eyes. Do these look like the eyes of somebody who's having fun?"
Yeah, that's interesting to me because when I worked in the pawn shop and customers would come in looking for video games, my boss would look at me and be like, "Yeah, you go and sort them out," and I'd just go down and chat to them about games for like 20 minutes, and then the idea was to get them to buy something. But it's a different culture in a pawn shop to a retail store because I'm trying to get someone to buy something, so I'm being nice and I can have a conversation where it's quite the opposite in a retail store. It's in and out, like more like a fast food shop.
Yeah.
No, GameStop's like, do you have our membership rewards? Are you interested in signing this? Would you like to sign up for our magazine? Would you like to this? It was always like a list of questions, and I'm like, no.
Would you like
no,
scratch protection on your Blu-ray
no.
disc?
Do you want
God,
to
I hate-
pre-order God of War? No.
And like when I go in to a GameStop now and I find usually if I buy something, it's either a PS4 game or like a random DS game I'll find. And I'm like, when they offer the protection, I'm like, how are you going to replace this? Like, especially
Yeah.
the cartridge. I'm like, you're not going to be able to replace it. Why would I pay for the protection? I don't know.
But the employee has to, out
I
of
know.
300 customers, they need 100 to sign up. So
Yeah.
otherwise
I
they're
bet
gonna
it
get
works,
yelled at.
especially with
That's
parents.
literally the only reason they asked you because they don't want to get yelled.
Yeah,
at.
the warranty thing started at the tail end of while I was there. So it was never something I had to push really, but I remember them starting to talk more about wanting us to. But at that point I was checked out.
Did you ever
So
have
see-
instances where you had like genuine games that you knew they were bad and they wanted you to push them on customers?
I mean, they wanted you to push anything. I just wouldn't do it. I've never the stores I worked in, we were usually pretty much on the same thing. Like you sell people stuff they want.
Yeah,
like you try to be good employees, and usually our stores did pretty well. But I don't remember them ever having, and this could just be my memory not working, but I don't remember there ever being a specific game that was trash that they were still like push it. But like I said, it could have happened. They just in
I
general.
know
wanted to
stories
push
of one game. It was before when you were working there. It was 2001, The Matrix, a video game, and it's famous that it
Mm.
was like one of the better selling games on Xbox because GameStop had bought a certain amount of copies, and for the Christmas of that year, all the employees had to like sell this game, even though it was like a terrible game, broken,
Yeah.
etc. And yeah, it was
Just like
famous
that.
for that reason, and that's why it sold so well.
That's funny. Yeah, yeah. They don't mind making you make the customers hate you, but then when the customer complains, they don't have your back. So
Yeah, well, it would have been fun to see a full life cycle of the free systems as well. With the Wii, the
yeah, that was
360, and the PS3.
it was cool. Like watching, especially like you saw how big the three. I mean, I wasn't there when the 360 launched, but the 360 was huge. I mean, I got to see how the Wii sold out literally the second it came in the store for what felt like years, but I mean, it probably wasn't that long, but still a long time. It was always sold out, and got to see the PS3 go from the underdog to climb back up to being a great console with a lot of content. Yeah, I got to work the Wii U disastrous launch and try to explain to everybody that it's not just a peripheral for the Wii, but you know, thanks Nintendo for that one.
I think the Microsoft thing being in Seattle would have been so cool because the 360 was big here, but like where it was released, it would have been huge. It would have been crazy.
Oh yeah, it was huge. You had definitely a big like the big wigs would come around. I not to my store, I was a little too far south, but like you knew that they would come around to GameStops and try to push stuff and do giveaways and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't uncommon to see the employee stickers on the games. Too. You see people posted on Reddit and stuff like, "Have you ever seen this?" I saw that all the time. Like we had Microsoft employees were always trading in those games that they'd get for free or for cheap at the shop to get other stuff.
Yeah, no, I find those posts funny too because I've been to Seattle a few times and like I tried to avoid those games because they were on so many of them. It's like, oh fuck, I wanted this because it's got the bloody employee sticker on it. I'll go for
Yeah,
something
it destroys that. You can't get that off.
else. No, they don't come off ever.
Yeah, it's just it lives there.
Some of that stuff's cool though. Like there's a like a PSVR launch event controller that I kind of want. It was like given out to employees at like the launch of the PSVR 1. And it's just a regular DS4, and it just like has like a little thing printed on it. It says like VR this and has a date and everything. But it's kind of neat. But it's like one of the few pieces from my VR collection that I'm kind of still want. That I'm like, hey, it's VR-ish thingy. Hey, why not? Like, sure. But
Has like an extra
cool.
0 on the end of it, but just because of how exclusively rare it is.
I haven't looked at it lately, but it was like $150 to get one, which is honestly for a rare controller. That's honestly really not that bad.
Yeah,
Freaking Hogwarts Legacy controllers like $350. What the?
Jeez,
what is going on?
That is nuts.
It really is. It's so frustrating because like I was hoping that it would be like one of those things where like it just like the hype was just making it really expensive and it would come back to reality a little bit, and it's not. It's like the damn Final Fantasy Pixel remastered. It's just getting crazier and crazier. It's not getting any better.
Dude, that
I'm
one
still in full belief that that'll be reprinted because there's no reason that it won't be. Like there's no.
I hope
like,
so.
Oh, Godzilla lost the licenses, so we're not going to see a reprint. Square Enix.
And the fact that they shadow dropped it at like 3 a.m. my time, like I didn't stand a chance. Like by the time I was up, it was long since sold out. Like I would have bought it. I was so disappointed. Like so many people were in that same boat. Just what a I don't know. It's just stupid.
Yeah, it was like
Wild Theory.
I didn't
The Christmas bonus for all the Square Enix employees that year were 10 copies. And then they got told when the reprint was coming out, they had to sell them before then.
Enjoy your bonus. Just maniacal.
That would be evil. That means that we're giving them their bonus. Thick fucks.
Yeah.
That's like genius.
What is wrong with you guys?
We would use the FOMO.
True, then
that's
them. How limited run games get their bonuses with Poop Slinger.
Take him a copy of Poop Slinger in the stocking. They
Is it
have like
cold?
that'd be nasty, dude. If I pulled like a Binding of Isaac on the Vita out of a stocking or something, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is a
Yeah,
good gift.
you just won.
Hey, did you guys see the news about what Doug from Limited Run Games is up to?
He's got a new company coming up, I believe.
Yeah, so he's doing his own physical games.
Huh. Gonna have another one.
Yeah, what the heck were they called?
That's interesting.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the name.
I've read it. I'd have to look it up.
I'll look it up. We'll give him a shout out. But yeah, he's partnered with somebody else. They supposedly are going to do like 5 games this year, Rocket games, but like ROCK space IT, like rocket, not like rocket,
Oh.
like
I
rocket.
hadn't heard of any of them.
You know?
Rocket.
Yeah. No, not Def Leppard.
He also posts on this social media platform. It's sort of like Twitter, but it's another one of those like competitors to Twitter that no one uses. And he keeps saying that he's going to drop all this news and he's ready to tell everyone everything, and then like says nothing. So there's obviously like drama there that he wants to come out and say. And
It probably has an NDA.
yeah, he probably has an NDA and he's been paid not to say things.
Yes, they probably gave him like a severance package, and he's not allowed to talk shit for 4 years or something. I don't know. Random.
Oh, I mean, if the whole poop sling, even if that thing's true, like and that came out public, like it wouldn't look good for the company. There's so many different things that they've done over the years. But, where rumors that did they do this, did they do that? If it came out that were true. Oh, by the way, we did this and we did that and we did this and we did this.
Are you gonna believe someone who's mad though? Because that's never wise. You should never believe like people who got fired or people's ex-girlfriends or ex-wives. Don't believe them.
You're gonna get like the most
Don't fucking believe them. Yeah, of course they're gonna say horrible things. Of course they are. Of course they are. And you know what? There's probably a lot. Some of it's probably true, but they're obviously gonna exaggerate and paint it in the worst possible light possible, and they're not gonna give you the all information, and you're gonna get like half the story, and it's just gonna be, like I said, I don't trust. I don't believe what anybody says about anybody. Like I literally believe like the more people get dragged through the mud in the media, the more I'm like that person's probably cool. Literally how I feel at this point in my life. I'm like, the more people talk shit, I'm like, they're probably a cool person.
What's that one dude that got cancelled? I always thought he was cool. From the UK, outspoken, had long hair.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
I'm bad at names.
One guy that got canceled from the UK.
I can literally hear him talk in my head. No, it's not coming to me. I'll try and think of it throughout the show. I know he probably done something that I missed, but yeah, it's the way these days.
So, what do you primarily collect, Chris? I see you got some Genesis behind you, some 3DS. What else?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Yeah, I can't see it on the camera, but over here is more of my console stuff. This is handheld. The Genesis stuff behind me is just I'm a really big fan of Toe Mineral.
I love Toe Mineral.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. I buy any merch I can find for Toe Mineral, and I just have that's just a little shelf of some of just the games and a couple items. But yeah, I have a lot of love for Toe Mineral. It's one of my favorite games growing up. But as far as it goes, I try to stick mostly to stuff I'll play. Like I've thought about doing like full sets before because I like the idea of having a full set for a console. But then when it comes time to buy a game I never want to play, I just can't. I can't get myself to do it. So, but yeah, I'd say nowadays I focus a lot on Vita, 3DS, and PS4. Are probably the 3 consoles I'm playing the most. Well, PS5 too, but I just buy the game when it comes out if it's something I want to play. But yeah, it's just there's at least probably a dozen games on any console with a bunch of games that I want to play that I don't have, and more that I learn every day that I didn't even know existed or didn't realize it's what it was. Totally different game than I thought. I just in general I just love gaming, and as an art, I'm obsessed with, trying all kinds of new things, and, not everything sticks, but I respect the time people put into games, and I like to try out all kinds of new things.
Yeah, no, something.
Do you have like any specific genres you like the most, or you just kind of like whatever?
I'm a big RPG guy.
Mhm.
Time makes it harder to find time to play as many of them, but I still buy too many more than I can play. But I'm a collector, so the goal is to play it one day. But I love platformers, so any kind of platformer, Metroidvania style. I like to play a lot of them. Like, I just played the new Prince of Persia, loved it.
Nice.
Super super good Metroidvania style game, very good controls. I'm playing Rebirth now, like most other people. It's fantastic. I'm in love. Like, but
What chapter
yeah,
are you on
those
now?
are 9. I
Oh.
believe I'm almost done with 9.
Nice, very nice.
So,
yeah, I'm at 7.
Yeah, so you're just right there. I definitely took a day off of work to play it. So
See, that's what I didn't do, and I wanted to do it so bad. I would say I've been
We
like,
even
this is
told
the
you to
first-
do it.
I know it's been a long time since I've had that itch where I wanted to be like, dude, fuck the world. I just want to play video games and like cash. You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, you guys all know how good it felt when you called out a 6, didn't go to school, and you just sat home all day and played an RPG. Oh, yeah, it's like the best day of my. It's the best.
I didn't
day.
get that experience. When we called in sick, Mum used to take the controllers to work. Like,
Ooh,
Oh, man.
yeah. And then
Brutal.
we'd call her up and be like, "Hey,
evil.
did the PlayStation controllers go missing or something?" And she's like, "I got it with me, you little fucks."
God.
Dang, man. That's cold-hearted.
You're sick. You can't play PlayStation when you're sick. Oh shit.
Yeah, you're sick, you don't get to play. Yeah, that was my mom. She didn't usually take the controllers, but if she was home, she wouldn't let me play. But yeah, no, I didn't even care. I told them why I was taking the day off. I was like, new game's out. They know I'm a nerd. So
Oh, well, you know what would get me is that if like my brother would pretend to be sick and I'd be like, that little bastard's lying. He's just gonna try to beat this. He's gonna be 3 dungeons ahead of me. You can't let him do it. No, I'm sick too. But we would never stay home on the same day because then we'd be fighting over it. That would be no. I'd be like, well, I'm gonna be sick tomorrow.
no
bastard.
point. You be sick today, I'll be sick tomorrow.
I'm gonna be sitting there licking doorknobs all day at school. You hear me?
I would say you could play that off because you'd be like, "Oh, I think he gave me what he's got. Now I'm sick, Mum."
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, I'm
the rest of the week off.
it's funny, like I like had like for like the whole PS4 generation, like I like didn't play RPGs because I was just like, I don't have the time for this. I don't have the time for this. I don't have the time for this. I still bought some and I collected some and I played a couple, but like I really wasn't into RPGs. But like the PS5, I don't know why, but like I was like mad into RPGs again all of a sudden. I think the lineup of RPGs that have been released so far is like amazing. It's like
There's been
such
a lot of good
good
stuff.
games. Yeah, and it's like a lot of like what's giving me it's hit me in the feels because it reminds me of it's like a lot of PS1 stuff coming back. Like I have like
Star
Final
Ocean.
Fantasy VII, Star Ocean, Tactics Ogre, playing
Valkyrie Chronicles.
Yeah, Valkyrie Elysium. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm
Like
thinking-
freaking Rhapsody. They released the Rhapsody game, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you guys are getting me. Like it's
They've
just
announced
like
more that they haven't done yet.
yeah, and then Suikoden's coming out, and there's a Dragon Warrior. I don't know. It's like it's bringing me back to like those my PS1 RPGs.
Oh, yeah.
days. It's
PS1,
like getting me excited
PS2.
again. Yeah, and so like I've made it a point now where I'm like I'm gonna play some damn RPGs again, and so what I do is like I'll play them for a few hours a day, but stop and then play something else or just chill, watch TV or whatever. And I can't play them like I used to, where I'd sit there and play them 12 hours straight, like no life, don't take a shower, just eating Doritos, like I can't do that anymore. But I'm trying to make sure that I put the time in to play some of these RPGs because they're so good. And dude, Ease 10's coming out. I can't wait.
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
I got to catch up on the Ease games. I played 8 and I bought 9, but I haven't played 9 yet.
Okay.
Those
It's
things,
freaking
that's the
amazing.
problem today. Like, there's that many games coming out that, like, do you play the new games? Do you play the games that you've got and you haven't played yet? Do you go back and play old games?
Yeah, it's hard.
Play all the I'll play all the games. You got to do it all. What you got to do is
the games.
What you got to do is you got to get the Apple helmet, right? And you have to have 3 or 4 RPGs going in all
There you
your
go.
screens, and you just have to like, and that's how you
Just
do
constantly
it.
going.
If you're not
While
doing
you're
that,
playing one, you're watching a
you're not a
cutscene. and the other
real
one.
gamer. That's right.
Do you
And you
even
need
like
to be on
RPGs?
Reddit. And you need to be on Reddit, farming them thumbs up. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Chris, I wanted to ask how long you've been collecting for. When were you collecting when you were working at GameStop?
Yeah, that was part of the reason I even started working there, I think, is because I would go there every day looking for new trade-ins and stuff. So I started in 2000. I was like 17, so 2004, I think. I got I was really in to RPGs at the time, and I found the Suikoden series for the first time, and I played 4, and then that was the first, which nobody likes 4, but that was the first one I played in the series, and I loved it. So then that sent me down a rabbit hole of all these other RPGs that I'd never played, and then and the collecting bug hit, and I started going back on PS1 and Super Nintendo and buying stuff that I still hadn't played, and I collected pretty hard for a few years, and then I got married in 2014.
And I had to
And
sell off my collection.
well, to be fair, I didn't, but she didn't want me to, but I did it anyway, because I wanted to help pay for the wedding and honeymoon and everything, and I was like, this will be a good way to do it. And I regret it now because I could have came up with a different way to do it, but it was just the easy, quick money. But no, my wife's great; she's super supportive of the hobby. But yeah, I got back into collecting. I never really stopped, I guess. But after I sold it off, I kind of slowed down for a while. But in about 2017, the Switch kind of reignited that collecting bug again. Not that I didn't start collecting for the Switch, but it kind of got me back into wanting to pick up stuff that I'd sold, pick up stuff that I'd never played on other consoles. I got lucky and picked up some of the big GameCube games pre-COVID that I'd wanted to play. So I'm happy, like Metal Gear and both the Pokemon Coliseum games and some other stuff. But yeah, so off and on for about 20 years now, but I won't say I ever really stopped, but I slowed down for a while.
Well, wait till Nintendo sells every
stuff,
emulator. They'll be worth thousands. Sorry, I'm just joking.
Right.
I'm just saying. Wait till the GameCube emulators are gone, and then those games will be worth millions.
And when you saying you sold stuff, did you sell off your whole collection, or did you keep stuff?
No. Excuse me, sorry about that. I definitely didn't sell off everything. I kept like a lot of my favorite stuff. I mean, I've had Earthbound since I was a kid. I kept that, and a lot of my Super Nintendo. I guess a lot of like my mainstays I kept, all my Final Fantasies, the Suikoden games. What I sold was like a lot of the PS1 and PS2 stuff that I hadn't been playing. Like I had a really nice collection of RPGs on both consoles and other, good games. And I regret that now. I sold Tales of Destiny 1 and 2 on PS1. I sold all the Shadow Hearts games, the Xenosaga games. Like it's a lot of some of like in like Xenosaga especially, like I wish I wouldn't have sold that. That one hurts because I don't want to pay $200 for Xenosaga 3. But yeah, I definitely kept. I mean, I don't know. I won't give a number, but I probably kept at least 50% of what I had.
Okay,
So it wasn't like I purged, but the one that I always tell people, I don't always tell the story, I guess, but when people ask, the one that I sold at that period that hurts now was Pokemon box. I had the GameCube Pokemon box, complete in box with the big box and everything, because I'd bought it off the Nintendo online store, and it was selling for like $300, which was at the time way more than anything else I could have sold. And I was like, dude, that's a big chunk of money right now for what we need. So I sold it, and I don't know, like it was for our wedding, so I'll never say I regret why I sold it. But
you shouldn't get hung up on that, man. At the time, that's what you needed to do, and that's what it was worth.
Yep. Yeah. So that was the one that was the big one where I'm like, I It's worth a lot now, but that's what it is. If I wasn't happily married, it would probably suck. But I love my wife.
But it becomes
so
one of those things. Do you want it though, just because it's worth a lot of money? Like,
I love
let's say,
Pokemon.
for example, it was always $300. Like, would you still want it as much as it is today because it's so expensive?
Probably not. I don't care enough to buy it again. So like
Exactly.
I ain't spending that money on it. So I love Pokemon, but it's a one trick pony game. Like you can't do any. I mean, I guess you can play Pokemon on your TV with it, but I have an analog pocket now, so that's pointless. Yeah, and why do you need a storage for old games? I guess it's a cool piece though for a collector to have.
It's cool for people who are going for full sets and different things like that. But it becomes one of those things where if certain games become that expensive, then you got to like sit down and be like, all right, is it time to sell this? Because it's like, I love all my video games, but if I pick up a game for $50 and it suddenly becomes worth $1,000, I might suddenly think about selling it. Because
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. Some things just aren't like 7 Remake Integrate on PS5. I bought the PS5 version because I wanted the Steelbook. It was a GameStop exclusive, but I was like, okay, I want the Steelbook. It comes with the DLC. I already had it on PS4, but whatever, I'll buy it. I did not expect that game to skyrocket in value, and I'm like, I'm kind of flirting with the idea of selling it because I don't doubt it'll get a reprint. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
and even if it doesn't, I still have the PS4 version. So
I mean, I regardless of whether that version gets a reprint, like that once all 3 games are done, they'll have some sort of special or limited collector's edition with all the games. Like it's a no-brainer. It'll be,
exactly.
And it'll be, what they'll do is it'll be like the dopest thing you've ever seen, and then they're gonna release it at 4 a.m. and there'll be 7 of them. And they'll sell out in 3 seconds, and we'll all have to come back on the podcast and complain about it because they're assholes.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't. I don't. I like seriously. Like I as a consumer, or as someone who's trying to understand capitalism in general, I am baffled at companies that do not print or make more of things that are clearly in high demand. Like same thing with the Spider-Man plates for the PS5. I am blown away. Like blown away that they didn't make more of those. I am just astounded. It's fascinating. Does Spider-Man have to be limited edition too? Even Spider-Man? Like what the heck, man?
Oh, it's not like they could have made. They would have sold no matter what, even if they made a lot of them. Like they would have sold out, but instead they made them limited and frustratingly hard to get. I wasn't looking for them, but I have a good friend that was, and he never was able to get a set. He missed every drop on every site that every time because they would go out in second because all the bots.
So what happened to me is I had that bad experience with the Hogwarts controller where it sold out in like a second and I couldn't get one, and it literally went instantaneously, was like going for like $200, which pisses me off. I think the cheapest it was on eBay was like $150, and I should have bought one then, but it was like $70 on the website. So I was like, I'm not paying double for this immediately. I was so angry anyway. So with the Spider-Man plates, those sold out instantly, and I was like, screw this. I'm not even playing around. And I had the console bundle, and I bought the whole console again. I was like, fuck this. I'm getting them plates. So I have two PS5s. No regrets, because those plates never got re-released. People are like, don't worry about it. I'm like, I am worried about it. I'm buying it. I'm not playing that game. I wanted those things.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, they're super cool.
They are, but I mean, to be honest, I got the gray ones, the silver ones, and I kind of like those. I may want to toss them on there because it gives me them PS1 vibes with the gray.
Looks better than the default ones.
The white sucks, dude. And that white is like the cheapest to manufacture because it requires like no dyes, or it's like literally like that. That's why they chose white. It's the same reason why if you buy a car and in white, like the cheapest, because that's the cheapest paint, it's the cheapest thing to make. Doesn't cost you anything. So it's not style. They're just cheap. That's why they made it white. Bastards. I hate it. I hate the white console. Looks like Apple made it or something. And it looks like nothing like the other consoles. Like look at PS1 through I don't know, PS2, PS3, and PS4 at least. They had like a consistent
all black,
kind of theme. Like they didn't look the same, but like you could see they were like somewhat related. And then the 5 came out and I'm like, this looks like it came out off of the set of a 70s sci-fi movie. Like Stanley Kubrick would have made this with this would have been what he would have thought a console would have looked like in the year 2015 or something. Like it's like this big spaceship looking freaking thing. And like, I don't know, I've won on this a million times too. Like, I hate the Slim with the stand, with the little stand thing. Oh my God, dude. That is horrendous. With the little stand you have to use. Forget it, dude. Get the skates. You guys, have you seen the skates you can buy? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It's like literally like little plastic like feet you can put on your console.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. I got them for both of my consoles, and they just hold the console in place, and it completely stabilizes it, and it looks 1,000 times nicer, and they don't slide around, and the feet are grippy, and like they don't wobble or anything. It's just a way better way of doing it, in my opinion.
That stand is truly awful. If you ever have to call Sony because you've got an issue, they have to verify your PS5, and the first thing they do is ask you for the serial number. Guess where the serial number is? It's underneath where that plate is. So you have to pull your PS5 upside down, unscrew this bloody thing while you're on the phone.
That's nuts. Not a good design.
No, not at all. It's just like, and the people on the phone know it too.
Is it on your? Did they? So the PSVR is on the box. They put it on the box too, maybe. The serial numbers or no?
I don't think it is. I'm because I got my box.
I don't know.
I would have used the box when I've called them. It was like 2 years ago now.
Yeah. So my plan is, I have like so many of the colored plates. It's just I'm gonna keep buying used PS5s until I have like 7 of them, and I'm gonna set them all up with all the colors, dude. And then
I
I'm gonna-
start this going to like 2028 where there's like new consoles out and they're like going for $100 each.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get like all of them, and then I'm gonna install my entire fucking library, so I have all the updates on all of my PS5s. And then every time someone comes over, they'll be like, "You want to play a game?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let me just figure out where it is. Hold on, let me put this. Where is this? It's on one of these motherfuckers."
This will be PS5 A to B. Then we got B to C. He's got his own PS5.
Install my games alphabetically. Wow.
This PS5's got 6 Call of Duties on it.
Be some true dedication.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the only person crazy enough to do that is the completionist.
Oh man.
I don't know. I don't have the funds he has. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm an honest man. I work for my money. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Wild to think of now.
Yeah, I like
I
how
haven't
weird
actually
the
looked at
PS5
his channel
looks.
in months, to be honest. I have no idea what's going on.
So I like the PS5 with the black plates on it, and I like it on its side with those skates, but like I don't like the Slim. I don't know. I don't like it. Just whatever. We'll see. I'm hoping maybe the Pro will be cool.
I think it's too big. Like I have little slots that I made on my desk to fit consoles, and I made this desk like 10 years ago, and the PS5 doesn't fit.
Oh,
What
yeah.
if the Pro is bigger? You know how the Pro is bigger for the PS4? What if the Pro is like it's just this
Well, the
unit?
PS4 Pro used to be like perfect size. Like any bigger than that would have been too big. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's just so big.
Yeah,
It's like
it's a
having a
behemoth.
second desktop for a computer. It takes
Yeah.
up that much.
No, it's huge.
Oh man, I hope the PS5 Pro is like literally like looks like the size of a love seat, and I hope it dims your freaking lights in your house when you turn it on. It's like because it's such a freaking tank of a unit. Like I hope it sucks up your Wi-Fi and like steals your neighbor's Wi-Fi, and like it's just like, oh man, that's what we need. The last console to rule them all, because this is gonna be it. Like it's gonna be it. So I've said this a million times too, but I want Sony to be like, it's the last disc console we're ever gonna give you. So we're gonna give you one fully backwards compatible console, and that'll be it. There you go, you old boomers. Here it is. Here's your boomer console. You now take it and then just die, and we'll sell digital to everybody else for the rest of the time.
Just shut us up.
Yeah. If Sony announced a new console tomorrow, I have no interest whatsoever in buying it. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, we're still at the start of the PS5's life cycle in my mind.
Yeah. That would be my big thing too. Is there just hasn't been enough. It hasn't felt like a packed few years of Sony games for them to even be close to releasing a PS6 yet.
Mm-mm.
We haven't gotten one 8K game yet.
Yeah,
The PS5 box has got 8K on it.
yeah, that's a nice flex that they're not using.
Yeah, but wouldn't you need like a crazy TV that does 8K to even?
No, I don't think
See
that
it, do they-
technology's been made yet.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And like, I don't even think it's worth it. I mean, I think getting 4K to run at like 240 hertz, like reliably, is really hard to do as already. Like, I don't think having 8K is worth it. Like, as a gamer, what do you guys feel about that? I like refresh rate. I want it to look smooth when I play more than
I generally can't
high
even
fidelity.
imagine what 8K would look like at this point. Like,
Yeah,
with
I
that
prefer it
far
to run
in, like,
smooth.
how much better can you get?
Well, I play like fucking pixel games quite often, so I really do not need it to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm still playing Mario Party and 64 games, and I'm still, so I really don't need anything that fancy. But like, if I'm playing any like actual competitive games, like FPS games or fighting games or whatever, well, fighting games they have to lock them, but on FPS games, like I want as high a refresh rate as possible. Period. Like I don't care about anything else. So
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
yeah, I agree.
Would you guys like to play the Figsy quiz?
oh yeah,
Yeah, cool.
it's gonna go. I can't go any worse than last week. So let's do it.
Well,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
well. Joe said it can't go as bad as last week.
I said it can't go any worse. It can go
Yeah.
as bad for sure.
We can run lateral do it.
It can definitely be as bad. It just can't be worse.
Well, we are using the same type of question as last time. However, I am going
Yeah.
to show you guys the words.
Mm.
However, I'm not going to show you the order. And the way the quiz is going to work is you guys are going to take turns guessing 15 words each, one at a time. And whoever gets the most points at the end wins. So all these words are words used in NES title names. So they're words used in full names of NES games. I'm going to show you 30 of the most popular words in alphabetical order. And you guys have to guess which ones are the most popular, and you get points on them. So if it was appeared in 4 titles, for example, you get 4 points. If it appeared in 50, you get 50 points.
Okay.
You guys understand the rules?
I think so.
Yes.
I'm just going to share them. Give me 1 second.
So we're gonna be able to see all the words, and we just have to decide which ones we think are the most popular words.
Yeah. Give me 1 second to get a pen and paper, and I'll write this all down.
All right.
Chris, you're our guest. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
All right, Joe, you are starting. So these are 30. They're not the most popular, but they're 30 of the most popular NES titles that Pavel pulled out.
Okay.
In alphabetical order. And you're trying to guess the most popular.
Okay. The most popular. I'm gonna go with baseball right off the bat because there's got to be a lot of baseball games.
Yeah, so baseball has 12 games. It was the 5th most popular.
Okay. So are you like writing down these points so I get 12 points? Is that how it works?
You get 12 points.
Okay. All right.
All right, Chris, you're up.
I'll go with Quest.
Ooh, Quest. Quest was the 10th most popular and gives you 9 points. All right, Joe, you're up.
I'm gonna say Super.
Oh, Super was in second with 17 points.
Dang.
Yeah.
Let's go with challenge.
Challenge comes in at 11th with 8 points.
I'll say world.
World is number 1, 17
man.
points.
Oh dang, he's sweeping up.
Super in world. I had a feeling.
Yeah, Joe took the top 2 there, guys.
I'm a boomer. I have the NES Advantage here. Literally, it's in the closet. Get it? You guys.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll
Chris, you're
do.
up.
Let's try legend.
Legend. Ooh, comes in number 23 for 5 points.
Well, that's terrible. Well, I could only think of 4, so I wasn't doing too good there.
You're like, yeah, that's a lot. Surely there's more.
I thought of 4 right away. Yeah, nope.
All right, Joe, you're up.
Little.
Little comes in at number 25 for 5 points.
Oh, all right.
Chris, you're up.
Let's do power.
Power's a good one.
Power. Number 18 for 6 points.
You know what? I'm gonna say dragon. I bet there's a lot of dragons. I'm gonna say dragon.
There are a lot of dragons. It comes in third place for 14 points.
Oh,
Joe's now taking the top 3 answers.
Yeah, all the double dragons, dragon warriors, and then who knows? It's probably quite a few.
Yeah, let's go with ninja.
Ninja is number 4, 14 points. Chris is coming
Finally
back.
got a high one. Let's go.
Nice.
You're up, Joe.
City.
City comes in at number 21 for 5 points. Chris can still win at this point, but Joe has got a decent lead.
Yeah. Let's try magic.
Magic's good.
Magic was number 15 for 6 points.
I say island.
Island comes in down the bottom, 28th place for 4 points.
No.
Chris, you're up.
Let's do man. It's got to have at least 6, right? So
It does have at least 6. In fact, it's got more than 6. It's got 10. Comes in at 9th place.
Nice.
okay.
I'll do star.
Star also has 10 with 8th place.
Let's do monster.
Monsters down in number 24 with 5.
I'll take S words for 1,000. It's swords, asshole. I'll take swords.
Suck it, Trebek.
Swords comes at 22 for 5 points.
Your mother, Trebek.
And that is today's Daily Double. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, shit. We doing that now? Oh.
All right, Chris, you're up.
Let's do attack.
Oh, attack's down at 29 and 4 points.
Dang.
Let's do fight. Fight's gotta be a lot of fighting. We like fighting. trying to think of names of games though, and then
Fight's number 20 with 5 points. We still have number 6 on the list. Number 7.
Let's do last.
Last comes in at 19th place. Didn't get last like everyone thought.
oh shit.
For 6 points.
I'll do Kid.
Kid's one of the top 10. In fact, it's 7th for 11 points.
Yeah, we got this is quite a few I can think of.
We're still missing number 6 though.
Let's do Battle.
Battle. It comes in at number 27 for 4 points.
Dang. I had high hopes for Battle. Let me down.
Street.
Street is the one I was looking for 11 points. Comes in at
There's no way
15.
I catch up now.
We should just do one apiece, you know? Actually, no, then it doesn't matter which one's better. So yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense.
And then we both finish on 15 and everyone is happily ever after.
Yeah, that
We're
would
all
make-
so happy.
All right, you got it on the list. It was on there. You got it. Good job.
We're both so good at this.
At that point, you just have to hope one of us can't read.
Yeah. I don't know
Just
any of
do
the
it with
words that are left
straight
on here.
face, and then
I'll
call the
take
answers out with
ham
straight face
sandwich.
and
That's
phone.
not on there.
See if Cat say anything. Like that wasn't a quiz.
They were just reading for 20 minutes. What the hell?
What are they
All
doing?
right, Chris, you're up.
I'll do Master.
Master.
Master came at
Master.
16 for 6 points.
Master of Puppets is pulling in strings.
Yeah, let's just listen to that instead.
Yeah.
All right, how many left now?
Yeah, these all suck. Championship.
8 points.
Let's do Hunt.
That's probably the best one, I think.
6 points for Hunt.
Let's do Time, just because of that game Time Lord, which I fucking
Time
hate
was
that
in
damn
last
game.
place.
Stupid ass game. Dude, that game I had when I was a kid and it was broken. Literally, like there was a boss that was like broken. We couldn't kill him. And like we tried everything for hours and hours. And I remember me and my brother for hours we tried to kill this motherfucker. And like when I got older, I remember I'm like, oh, I'll look it up. It's got to be something we missed. And like the guy in the video just walks up and shoots him like 3 times, and the dude just dies. I'm like, what the? My game was literally broken. What the hell? Like it was so infuriating.
That's brutal.
Yeah, man.
You're up, Chris.
Let's do Mutant.
Mutant comes in for 5 points. And final round.
I'm gonna golf.
7 points. And Chris, you're going to be stuck with Duck. And Duck gives you 300 points for the win. No,
Oh, god damn it. There's 300 deck games. Oh, you're cutting that weird Korean deck collection that was released. Homebrew, you bastard.
You didn't know, man.
All right, guys. So final score on 100 points. We had Chris. But today's winner on 135 goes to Joe Rad. Well done, Joe.
Let's go.
Job, Joe.
But wait, there's more.
Nintendo.
We also have a
Oh, wow.
question for chat.
Oh, all right.
Chat, here is your question for the week. Now, I
Hey,
need
all
you guys
right.
to correctly name the video game title from the photo.
I can't get past picture 1. Is there more pictures?
I can't get past picture 2.
Wow. Wow, man. Figsy's like, I'm on 3.
I'm not saying that. Yeah.
Oh, the real OGs are like, I'm
looking at the Brady Bunch in 4.
I like that. He wants not. Never mind. All right, never mind. Let's keep this family friendly. Wow. All right.
I have no idea what I'm looking at. I'm excited to see if somebody figures it out.
Let's have everyone in chat. If you guys want to win a point, you have to correctly name the video game title from these photos.
Dude, the people in chat are really good at this. I'm impressed. Some of these, like, I have no idea.
I was doing a quiz in a geography server I'm in the other day, and they like make their own quizzes, and usually they're just like questions. And then this one was like these type of questions. I'm like, oh, I'll be good at this. I got 0 out of 6.
Oh, rip.
Here, Autistics. Very nice.
So I am not good at those. Should have like got Pavel to help me.
Yeah, sometimes it's easy to think you know the answer, but when you're sitting there and you have to answer, you're like,
It's that
It's
being
alright.
put on the spot.
yeah. I've just done it a million times now, so I don't care.
Oh
how dumb I
wait,
look.
we have a correct answer. I'm going to award this, even though no, that's I'll award that. Mario correctly answered, but ugly Martians Zoom Doom.
Wow. Good work.
Never heard of that.
I remember that was a cartoon on or like 3D cartoon. Yeah.
Well done, Mario. That was a good one.
But ugly Martians, Zoom or Doom. Oh, because it's a Zoom meeting. All right. Wow. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I've
no,
never
that was
heard
a
of that
tough
game.
one. I didn't know if anyone was going to get it.
I
Even
don't know
looking
what
at
it
it,
is.
I had to like re-look it up again.
Yo, there's too many damn games on the PS2, son.
Yeah, PS2 is a wild collection of games.
Yeah, so I like my gaming title knowledge. I like ever since I got a Steam Deck, I've gotten a lot more familiar with a lot of like the full libraries of a lot of those systems because I'm like, what should I emulate? What should I download and stuff? So, but yeah, the PS2, I am just shocked how many games there are. If you start, especially when you start getting into the PAL territory too, and the Japanese games, it's like holy crap, it just goes
Yeah.
on and on and on.
I'm good with
Yeah,
titles because I collected a full set, and
Mm.
not just like having a full set helps you with other systems because you'll be like, oh, I have the third game of this game, and then you go out and you find out what number 1 and 2 was, and you're like, oh, that was
Mhm.
on the PS1 and the 2, and oh, that was on the Wii, or that was on here. And,
Mhm.
learning so many games and getting into so many different series gets you introduced to so many more games. That's just
I think
endless.
that's a huge point. Like, I feel like if you're a huge fan of series, you end up collecting for different systems because they're all over the place. Like Ease, for example, that's like all over the damn place. If you want all the Ease games, you gotta get a Master System, a TurboGrafx, a PSP, a PS4. It's like you have to have like for all these systems to have all those games, you know. So that's a good point. Like right now, I'm at the point where I'm looking up stuff that got released on the DS. Like RPGs, especially. There's a lot of like entries in series that I was unfamiliar with. Like you remember you mentioned like Ni no Kuni before, how that had put me down a little rabbit hole. I'm like, what other games are on there that are probably really expensive? Oh, they are! What a surprise! All the RPGs are really expensive. I'm
Yeah.
shocked.
DS had a wild library. It was good though. They had a lot of good RPGs. You mentioned Rhapsody earlier. They had a Rhapsody game on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
A Blue Dragon game on the DS.
Two of them.
Speaking of RAP.
Speaking of one of the expensive ones. Well, the DS is cool too because it was a region-free library. So, you play games from Japan or North America or PAL. It didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate that they region locked the 3DS afterwards. Like, what a step back.
Yeah, but it's also like at the moment, at least, one of the easiest to mod and just region free that up like really easy. Like I own like a few 3DSs and they're just the Japanese ones and they're modded to play whatever. So
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Did you guys hear the news this week about Sony removing content that people had bought digitally?
Yeah, we should talk about the title.
Yeah, that was pretty whack.
So from what I understand, it's not like this wasn't like the normal, like they're like pulled a license or something where they couldn't download the games. It was some sort of bug or glitch or something causing it. From what I understand, I'm not like, I don't know, super up to it, I guess, but I don't think it was like a malicious in that way. It was just like people couldn't access it for some reason, and it was like 50 to 100 users who were reporting it or something. So it's not like this huge thing or whatever. But either way, it's still not good, and it shows you that you don't really own things. You just have access to things, and whether it's on purpose or not, you could lose your stuff. And it freaks me out though when they say they can remove stuff from your system. Like, I don't like that at all. Does that mean they literally go into your PS5 and like delete your damn files? Is that what they're saying? Like, you can't
Yeah,
even
how much
own
control
them
do you
anymore?
have?
Yeah.
That's weird, man. That's what
It's
they're doing.
crazy to me because, like, we all talked about, this happening, but, like, it's just accidentally happened. And it's just obviously showing the times of what's going to happen in the future. They'll just one day remove this one game and one day remove this game. And one day you'll go and do a certain game and it just won't work. And you won't be able to rebuy it. And then there'll be no version
Yeah.
digitally out there unless you bought it physically.
Well, I mean, too, like I think it was you, Joe, on a past episode mentioned your Wii, your games on your Wii that you just don't have access to anymore, or your virtual downloaded games, or on the 3DS and the Wii U. Now that they closed down the eShop, you can't. A lot of that stuff is just locked out. Obviously, modding and stuff makes it possible, but still, like, you can't just go on and buy anymore. It's just crazy to me that one day they can just decide you're done. Like, no more. We don't want you to have access to this stuff anymore. And yeah, some of those games won't have a way to be played. Like, I always think of Affordable Space Adventure. Is that what it's called? On the Wii U. That it was very much so made for the Wii U. Like, it uses the gamepad, it uses the mic, it uses everything. It'll never get ported anywhere else, most likely, because it was just so built for that console. Like,
there's plenty of 3DS games that are similar like that. They used the 3DS for what it was, the 3D function and everything.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a little experience I've been having playing Elden Ring. So not so much the gameplay, but I haven't got PS Plus right now, and it has like online features, but it's like a very minimal part of the game, and I don't want people to help me in my game, so I'm not using it. I don't summon people, so I don't need the online. Every single time I play it, before I start playing it, I got to pop up to buy PlayStation Plus, and you like physically have to like leave the menu and go back into the game.
I had no idea. That would be so annoying.
Yeah, exactly. And like, this is a single player game. It's like trying to force it down you.
Yeah. They're trying to tie it to everything nowadays. Having a subscription to anything.
It's just the modern, life cycle that they want for video games. They want to make a video game and they want the video game to last for 3 years. They want you to buy the season pass for 3 years and buy the skins for 3 years, and then they'll keep spending money on it.
And then not only that, but now they literally want to be able to then to take it away and delete it from you, so you can't keep playing it. Like, I swear, like Sony, like these companies, like they don't like that we like the old games and we want to play the old games and collect the old games. They don't like that. They're like, no, always buy new product. New product, good. We want new product. We want more money. We want new product. They do not, care. They don't like that. They don't want it. They always want you interested in whatever the new thing they're selling is. Because if they can't keep that treadmill going, they go out, it goes away. Like, like Rocksteady Games is like gonna be out of business now because they made one game that didn't do well. They're done. Like, they're screwed. That company's gonna be like screwed. I'm telling you, like,
yeah. There's too much money going around now. Not enough money going around and too much money being spent. It's wild.
Yeah, and it takes a decade to make a game, and whatever. And at the end of the day, it's just a game. Like, what are you guys building? You building Rome? What are you building over there? It's just a game, and like, there's nothing that guarantees its success at all. It's just like, do people like voluntarily want to purchase it? And like, is there like, voluntarily like natural hype for it? Like, for this stuff. And, it's really risky. The market is so competitive and so oversaturated It's wild. Like even like I've heard like the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sales are kind of disappointing from what I've heard. I'm shocked. I am like honestly surprised. I think it's a great game, and I'm surprised it's not selling better. But if you think about it, like, dude, how much money do people have if they just bought Grand Fantasy Relink and Persona 3 on the PSP release from Limited Run and Persona 3 Reloaded, and God forbid they got the collector's editions, which are $200, and and
Yeah.
they want also Unicorn Overlord, and they also want. I mean, it's a lot of
Yeah,
really
and
good
that's
stuff
just
coming out.
RPG related stuff.
That's their direct competitor, exactly. And like you said, and that's not talking all like anything else that people are competing with. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I wish they would maybe take a look at what's working. So many indie developers are having success. Like I think of like
Mhm.
Stardew Valley and Undertale and these games, which
Mhm.
obviously they find a cult following that really works. But it's still there's something to be. Well, Helldivers I think is almost a better example of a game that's doing really well too. Sometimes the
Yeah.
lower price point and the right level of what's the word I'm looking for? Like promotion from, whatever it be, their commercials or YouTubers and stuff. If they sell things correctly, it really tends to do pretty well in this market sometimes. People, if you can make a game that somehow is TikTok or YouTube streamable, like
Mhm.
that game will almost guaranteed take off. And
Smart.
yeah, I mean, some of these have really taken off. Like maybe they need to step back and like Spider-Man 2 is fantastic, but
Mhm.
they had to sell over 10 million copies to break even. Like those numbers are wild. Like
It's true.
like that. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and I don't like. I don't know. I'm not a fan of live service games in general. So like, if you're like planning on like making games that are designed to milk me for lots of money, I'm just not interested. Like, I don't care how good your game is. Like, I'm just like, I feel like I'm just being taken advantage of, and I'm not interested in that. Like, so I'm
Even
a little old
on
school.
top of, I get it. And on top of that too, like all that money you put in, like I think there was a cell phone game I got onto at one point, and I put not like a lifetime supply of money into it, but I put a decent chunk of money in it. And one day it was just not doing well enough, and they canceled it. What do I have to show for that? A couple of screenshots. That's it.
Mhm.
Nothing else. It was very eye opening to me because I got caught up in it when some of my friends were playing it. I enjoyed it. It was fun, but
Mhm.
like any of these live service games, you can put all this money into skins and battle passes and whatever. And I'm not dogging it because I still do it sometimes. But one day you won't have anything to show for it, most likely. Like it's that digital content. They decide the game's not doing well enough, they close it down, and where are all your skins at?
The
So
way I look
I
at what you get out of those games is
Mhm.
you can stream them and you can do well streaming from those games, and you can gain the followers and the people you meet along the way. But if you're just playing by yourself, and all you're gaining is the experience that you're having in that game and the few wins that you get, etc. Like it's all gone after the servers go down. Even before then, when people stop playing it and the servers become dead, it's practically gone already because who can you share it with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get so again, I guess I don't know, like I'm a weirdo, but like I'm not really into gaming on my phone in general. And when I do, like they have emulators for your phones now too. So like I love putting like old school RPGs on my phone because you don't really need a controller to play those. You can just sit there and take your time and chill out, and I would play those more than anything if I was going to play games on my phone. And like I don't know, I just feel like I know this is ridiculous because it's not, but like I feel like when I play a real game and I beat it, I feel like I've accomplished something. And when you play games that have no ending, I'm telling you just like it's all like those weird dopamine hits, but there's no satisfaction of accomplishment. You never finish. Like there's just the
Yeah.
next season, the next season, the next season, the next season, or whatever. It's just like never ending. And I'm like, after a while, you get diminishing returns on your satisfaction. And then you look at it like a lost time investment and a lost money investment. And like, that's not how I feel when I beat Final Fantasy VI on my phone. I'm like, yay, that's fun.
I
I don't feel,
agree.
I just like, cool,
No, I
another
agree
one in the
completely.
bag. don't know.
Yeah, like
Here's my
I
platinum
play.
trophy I got on my phone, guys.
Yeah, dude, I love me a platinum trophy. Like I play Apex Legends. I'm not great at it, but I play it. But I don't play it by myself. I don't hop on and play Apex Legends. I play it because my friends play it, and like it's something we can do together. It's an easy squad up type game. But yeah, it just that kind of stuff solo to me just doesn't. It isn't fulfilling. It's fun to get a win with your friends, but yeah, I'd rather play something with a story, just a game with a beginning and an end when I'm playing by myself. Because finishing a game and tossing it as a collector, tossing it back on the shelf feels like an accomplishment. I made one more step towards working through my collection. That's always bigger than it is smaller. But
Chris, I used to grind solo leaderboards on PUBG.
oh,
It was
did you?
a lonely experience, but I used to stream, so I was playing with my viewers. You know, I wasn't.
You at least that at least had like a purpose. And I know some people like it enough to play it on their own, and I don't judge anybody for what they like, but for me personally, it just like if you're streaming it, that's different because like you said, you have people you're working with. But yeah, I'd rather play something with some content, with a story, I should say.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say story because that's not
my
always true.
memories of like
and an end.
40-minute games on Miramar. Playing solo is hanging out by myself. Playing with mates is chatting for 30 minutes, having fun, and playing the game for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I'm way biased towards single player games. Like at this point in my life, I am. Like I used to play tons of multiplayer, but not anymore. I don't know. Like my friends, like it's impossible to get them to play games. So I just play on my own schedule. I play with my girlfriend more than anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think that these days you almost can't go into a game with a group of friends. You almost have to go into the game and meet people who have the same type of interest as you, but they're playing that game as well, because those are the people that you're gonna. Oh, you want to play this all day? Yeah, I'll hang out and play all day. Or when you finish work and we get on and play together for 5 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah, my roommate does it that way. They're good.
That's usually what I do. I just go into communities and meet people in communities, and I'm still
that's fun
friends
too.
with those people years down the line. You
can make great friends that way. I'm a bit lucky that I just have a couple of friends locally that happen to have schedules that mesh up with mine. And we like a lot of the same games, or we find things that we can play, meet in the middle. But I know not everybody has that, so I feel fortunate that it's an easy co-op partners. But
yeah, for me, I always feel that I still always have that itch to fire up the old World of Warcraft account. That's where for me, where I like, if I want like a social game, like that's the one I want to play, because it's like, gosh, I don't know that game. I don't know how it is now, but that was like my favorite for hanging out with the bros. Because like you said, Figsy, we could just hang out in the Orgrimmar, just the main just talking shit and having a great time for 30 minutes. We didn't even have to play. It was just like a place for people to talk and hang out and have fun and plan. And
exactly.
I could spend an hour at 1 p.m. putting a group together for 6 p.m. just talking and playing and sending messages and seeing who's going to be on. And
spend more time planning the raid than the actual raid itself.
Yeah. So the multiplayer games and social games, like I do love them. Don't get me wrong. It's just like at this point in my life, like I don't know. I'm also like tired, dude. Like it's hard, like to like back in the day, I could game till 2 a.m, 3 a.m, no problem. And now I'm like, no, man, I gotta get to bed. I'm tired. I gotta work. I can't be doing that. Like we used to raid until midnight every time, at least, and we'd always raid late. We'd always stay late. One more attempt. Come on, guys. 2 more attempts. We can do this. Come on, guys. Hang in there. So yeah, I don't know.
Don't worry about your 6 o'clock alarm. You'll be fine.
Oh, I'm sure we ruined lives. We probably got people in trouble at work. We probably got mad people in trouble with their wives. So much trouble playing that game. That's the thing. Like people, oh man, like I've tried. That was such a hard thing to explain to people when they're like, "Come do this thing," and I'm like, "I can't. There's 40 people waiting for me to do this thing. Like, I have to go play this game." And they're like, "Why? What do you mean? Just don't play the game." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. I have 40 people who expect me to be there, and I'm the one like calling the raid, like I'm running the fucking shit, like I gotta be there. Like it was just so hard for people to understand, because back then that wasn't as prevalent. People didn't understand online gaming as much. You know what I mean? Like especially parents, they're just like, stop playing, and you're like, I can't pause this.
Can't pause.
That's not how this. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's not how it works. You just have to relax. No, man, so many stupid arguments and fights over that stupid game. But I still miss it to death. And if I as much as I talk shit about it, if Blizzard was like, you know what, we're doing it. WoW 2 is coming out 6 months. I'd be freaking buying a new computer. I'd be going crazy. I would
back in.
Of course, the podcast would be over. But what happened to Joe? We're like, I don't know. He just
WoW 2, guys.
Go on Twitch. There he is. He's sitting there, just freaking playing WoW.
Quit his
Or
job.
if it's not over, every
Lost his
episode would
job.
just be about WoW.
Yeah. So, but that's, maybe that's like what I hope to do when I hope it's still around when I'm like really old. You know what I mean? Like when I'm in.
They're
Like,
just waiting for everyone to retire so then they can get you. All right, they're all retired now. Let's get them.
Let me tell you, when I'm retired, I will play some WoW. I will definitely play then. Oh, hell
Get the gang back together.
All right, deal or no deal's on at 5:30, and then we're raiding at 6 o'clock, and then I want to be asleep by 8.
I do like Deal or No Deal. Shut up.
Good stuff, man.
I like Price is Right too. Get it, come at me.
Price is Right is great.
Heck yeah.
You guys got any pickups to show off this week?
No.
What do you got for us, Chris?
All right, so this one is not a super recent pickup, but I figure I haven't been on here before, and it was just timely. It's a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot with the new Power Awakens for the Switch. And I got it on the Bandai Namco store, and it came with the Steelbook.
Nice.
It's a Switch exclusive Steelbook. The back isn't like anything crazy. But there's 2 reasons I want to bring it up. One, Kira Toriyama passed this week, which is terrible. He wasn't that old and
devastating.
Still had a lot to do. Yeah, and I love me some Dragon Ball. It was my introductory anime. Like I have a huge fondness to it.
Not just Dragon Ball. People don't realize how much he did that. He did Chrono Trigger. He did freaking.
Oh yeah, and the Dragon Quest games and.
And not just that, his influence on so many other artists.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you see the outpouring of love for him from all of these other anime creators, like the amount of lives he got into, and like we probably wouldn't have One Piece and Naruto and some of these other big ones if it wasn't for him. They specifically said reading Dragon Ball, watching the anime made me want to be an artist. So like it's
inspired through Dragon Quest. You can go through any major franchise and they probably lead back to him.
It's a huge loss, but
yeah, it was honestly like devastating news.
Yeah, I've been bummed about it and watching a few episodes of the OG Dragon Ball just in memoriam. But I thought I'd bring this up because it's the Switch version is cool. It's all on cart. It has some of the DLC on it, but on the Bandai Namco store right now, it's on sale for $15. And that feels like a good deal. So anybody listening that has any interest in getting this game, it's a fantastic game too if you haven't played it.
So is that like an updated release with the DLC or something?
Yeah, it doesn't have like the season pass. They've released quite a bit of DLC for it, and it just has it has some extra content. I think it might be the first DLC. I'm not positive. I haven't played this version. I have it on PS4, and I bought the PS5 version too. I love this game. But yeah, I played through it all on PS4 and I got the season pass, but this one I'm just going to keep sealed. I bought it mainly for the Steelbook. But I just feel like $15 for a Switch game that it at least has like all the patches on it that came out early on.
Yeah. That's cool.
And the cool Steelbook. Like if anybody's interested, the Bandai Namco store right now, $15. Their shipping sucks though. I think it's another $10.
I also that's in my opinion, the best Dragon Ball game on this is like that came out in this generation. Like I think that's the best one.
Hands down. Fighters is fantastic, but if you're not into fighting games, this is it.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure that there was like a updated Japanese release for PS5. I'm gonna say, and
we
I have not confirmed if that had any like extra DLC on it or something, but that was supposed to be like a newer version of that game, so it might have some stuff. I don't even know if it has English, but I remember somebody, I think maybe Phil from Premium Edition, I think he
Oh yeah, I
tweeted about it saying that was coming out. So yeah,
that's good to know because I collect Dragon Ball games, so I might have to pick
very
it
cool.
up.
Yeah.
All right. So some of my other
I collect
pickups-
Dragon Quest games, and goddamn, they're expensive. Go ahead.
dude. Right. I have most
Anything
of
with dragon in the name is pretty expensive.
yeah, it just tends to be a thing. Yeah, I love the Dragon Quest games though. I'm only missing 4 on DS. I don't have like the NES ones, but at least I have a version of all of them elsewise. I just thought this was timely. I went to a Goodwill a couple weeks ago and found a couple things. One, we were talking about Blu-rays and stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Firefly.
Oh yeah.
But I love Firefly.
Oh,
Found the
yeah,
complete
okay,
series. It's complete series, $3. So, and I'm like you were saying,
$3.
yeah, with the, the way it feels like it's going, I'm going to start buying more shows and movies that I like on DVD, on Blu-ray, on, 4K.
Any show you like that has licensed music at all, buy it now. Because
Yeah.
you will never hear that music again, even if they re-release the show. So like a lot of my girlfriend, especially, like I've been buying her like DVDs and stuff for like old shows that she likes. She's like, even the ones she finds, she's like, all the music's messed up. It sucks. So you want to buy the ones with the real music on it because they'll change all that crap. Or just won't they just won't do it. Or there'll be like an episode that's really expensive and they just won't have that episode or something. They'll just be like, episode 13 is just not there because that's the one that has this other, Spider-Man's in it, and we don't want to pay Sony $5, so whatever.
Also, the story changes after that episode, so it just makes sense now.
yeah. So
yeah, they just rip content from us. So then at that same Goodwill, I also got, like, I don't have a lot of luck at Goodwills. My wife likes thrift store shopping, so I go and I always look at the games, but I don't have a lot of luck. But at that same one where I found Firefly, I found Tenchu Z on 360, which is a FromSoft game, which was cool, and Fable: The Lost Chapters. But the coolest part is they're both sealed.
Oh,
I'm struggling with my camera angles here. But yeah,
you like, it's so hard to do those. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, that's super cool. I'm not sure, like, I'm not a sealed collector at all. Like, if I'm not going to play it, I don't feel a need to have it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I kind of want both games, so I don't know. I'm flirting with maybe trying to trade with somebody who actually sealed
them and then buy cheap used copies. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's probably the best. Fable isn't worth that much even sealed, so I might just open this
the
one.
platinum hits, but Tenchu should be worth it.
Tenchu's worth a little bit more, and I've heard it's a good game, so I'm like, it's a great game to add to the collection.
Not that.
And then,
did that not get released on PlayStation? Right? No, that didn't. Right?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
That's 360 only.
Yeah, I bet that's worth something.
Yeah, it's. I mean, FromSoft obviously has a lot of. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, I looked it up. I want to say it was sealed. It's like 80, 90. So that's pretty good for a game I found at Goodwill for $4.
Not bad at all.
And then I also got this was a Macari purchase. It's Trails of Cold Steel, the premium edition for the Vita.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So I haven't played this series, but like I said, I love RPGs, and I really wanted to get into it. And I felt like I wanted to start with the first one, but on the Vita, like specifically. I feel like I want to play it on my Vita because I like the Vita a lot. And this was listed as it had everything but the pin that it came with, little lapel pin. But he had it listed for $50, $55, I think, with shipping. And I was like, that's cool. But I sent him an offer for $40, and he took it. And then I was like, okay, even better. And then when I got it, it has the lapel pin in it. So I'm like, everything is here. So I'm like, maybe he found it after he's like listed it.
We just looked in the box and didn't see it. And
Yeah,
This is
I'm like, I
how
don't
it-
know. So I'm like, well, it's 100% complete.
He looked it up and he goes, "What the fuck's a lapel? I don't know. I don't have that thing."
I don't have it. So
Oh,
I
that's
thought that was
cool.
cool. I'm excited to play it. And then
Well, if you have
last,
you gotten like all of like you should if you're interested in that series, I'm just saying you should get all those games now before they're insanely expensive on the PS4. They're already like hard to find some of them.
yeah, I just
You can get
I
one
haven't
and
bought the
two on the
second one
Vita.
yet.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna get the second one on Vita, and then I think it's 3 and 4 just got released on PS5 in
Mhm.
one combo pack, and I just bought
That's
that.
true.
I haven't
yeah.
played them yet. I might
Mhm.
get the PS4 versions eventually, but I was like, this is the best way to just get it now.
Oh
No, that's the
there's
smarter
all
way
the
to do it.
spin-offs. There's like not Zura and all that other Azure whatever.
Yeah.
Never mind.
There's a lot of them.
There's
I don't even know where to. I just figured I'm gonna start with Trails of the Cold Steel 1, and I'll figure it out
Mhm.
from there if I'm into it. But
Goodbye. I played 15 hours and went, no, I don't think it's for me.
that's what I've heard. It's like you'll either love it or you're just gonna be like, this is too much. So
It was good, but it was not for me. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I can see how people love it, but I didn't.
yeah, the people that love it love that series. So I have a couple of friends who are really big into it. So I've wanted to get into it for a while. Last couple pickups were both GameStop pickups, which I don't find good stuff at GameStop too often, but this I don't know too much about the game, but I like to
nice.
collect stuff from this
Oh, nice.
publisher, Soedesco. The Girl and the Robot. It looks just kind of like a chill, cozy type game. Kind of gives me Ico vibes, but I haven't played it, so I don't know if either of you guys have.
Have
But
you got
I have
the
a
double
full-
disc that it came
I have a
with?
full Sedesco set.
Oh, you do?
I have all of them, man.
That's cool. I don't know what it is, but I love that. It's like it's a subset that I'm going for. I just think they seem to publish really quality like indie titles. So
Yeah, they're nice,
I'm up to,
cozy,
like-
cool games.
I'm up to 7 now, so I'm not anywhere close. I just buy them when I find them in the wild usually, but
There's a lot. There's like 30 of them or something.
Does your
Yeah.
copy have the discs on the inside as well, Chris?
it does. Yeah, it has both. Take all that out. Both the
Mhm.
soundtrack and the
Yeah, nice.
and the game.
Well,
so and it
It's
had,
nice that you show this, though. I talked about this before, though. This is why I think these are specifically collectible, because that style double case is very unique. Because
Yeah.
it's on the left and the right. It's not like a foldable, attachable disc thing in the middle.
yeah.
So
I've never
those
seen
are like,
many like it.
yeah. So they're very hard to replace if they're shitty or broken or damaged or whatever. So like, I feel like
Yeah.
It's missing the disc or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, I've seen them like online. People will sell them. It's just they're in a regular case, and like the second disc will just be like in a sleeve and like tucked in with the game or something, like because they don't have that case. So I've said this before, but like those are cool to collect for that reason, because those cases are so unique.
Yeah, I love it. It's super cool, and like I said, I do think like I don't know, all these indie games that they've published all have like a lot of charm to them. I'm not going to say they're all good. I haven't played all of the games that they've published,
Mhm.
but I'm just such a fan of the ones that I have played, or like some of the ones like this that just look really good.
They have a lot of they're good games. A lot of them, not all of them. Like you said, there are some good ones.
Yeah, I'm a
Ether
big
One's
fan-
good. Among the Sleep's really good, and Kaze and the Wild Masks. I don't know if you played that one, but I love that.
I
one.
haven't, but it's on my list. I want to get them all, but that one I want to play because I love a good
It's
platformer.
dope.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm a big fan of Tokitori, the puzzle game with the little chick. Oh, that sounds weird. The little baby
have a
chicken.
It's like a
Bird.
chicken. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Well, I'm a big fan of that. And that kind of got me down this path of like I want to get all these games because I like that they publish these more obscure games.
Yeah, dude, I'm into
then
it.
my
There's
last-
there's 3 cover variants for Among the Sleep, just so you know.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I
I'll
love
have
talking about this.
Yeah, you'll have to
I'm
send me a
like,
picture. I
"Ooh."
didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to see a picture of your collection too. Like that's really I just like to see them all together. But that's really cool. I didn't know they were
We're still
very
waiting for Joe to drop a game room tour. It'll happen one day.
dude. Yeah, that'd
Oh,
be cool.
dude. I should. I gotta clean the room. Well, supposedly my roommate's moving out, and then once he does that, I was gonna move my desk out of here, and then get a couple more bookshelves and clean it all up, and then maybe I'll do a little tour.
Then he got no excuses.
No,
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. That'd be cool. My last pickup, also a GameStop pickup. It was only like $8, but it's the Steel Book for Nino Kuni 2. But it had the game and it had the soundtrack. Once again, double sided Steelbook, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's only like $6. But I just think it's a really pretty Steelbook.
Yeah, I like that one. It had a steelbook for the first game as well, and it's one of my favorite steelbooks out there.
Dude, that's a nice Steelbook. I was still at GameStop at the time, and I know the Steelbook, at least in the States, was a GameStop exclusive.
Yeah, that's how I got my copy. I had to get it from America, and it was a fortune because it was only released at GameStop.
But it's really cool. Yeah, I like a good Steelbook.
I like Nino Kuni Tuni. Sorry, God.
I haven't played either of them, but I want to, so I have both of them now. So I need to play them.
Play 2
I
first.
prefer the first one over the second one.
Exactly. Play 2 first because everybody likes 1 more than 2, but 2 is really good. So I played 2 first before I played 1, and I loved 2 because I had nothing to compare it to. I played just 2, and I'm like, this is just a great game. It's a really fun JRPG. I really liked it. And then I played 1, and I'm like, all right, I can see why people like this a little bit better, but I just recommend it because they're not connected. You do not have to play 1 before 2 at all.
That's good to know. That's like the Suikoden series. I started with 4, and 4 is notoriously like the one that people like the least. But because I started with it, I was like, it got me into the series. I went back and got all of them, and I still have a lot of love for 4. But I see why people don't love 4, after having played the others. But yeah, sometimes it makes a difference where you start.
Yeah,
we're playing those games that people call bad. Like I love Dark Souls 2, but it's known as like the bad Dark Souls game.
Bad is so relative or subjective.
I mean, something like I believe people when they say the Gollum game is bad or like the Kong game is bad. Like when I believe, I'm not saying that I don't believe anyone when they say games are bad, but if there's a game that's like Dark Souls 2 or even something like that, I'm like, what if they were just bad? Or what if they just didn't like one aspect of the game and it ruined their time that I don't mind. Like I said, I like old school games that are punishing. And like a lot of people would not like that. So I could see people being like, F this game, and me being like, no, this is fine. It's cool. I like it. Reminds me of Ghosts and Goblins. This is brutal. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Very good. You got any other games?
Nope, that's it for my pickups.
I got a few PS1 games to show off, guys.
Cool.
So we left off with Metal Gear Solid last episode. We move on to some more games that start with M. First one is Mike Tyson boxing. Did you guys see that Mike Tyson just announced a new fight with Jake Paul?
Sure
I saw
did.
that. Yeah.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't care how old Mike Tyson is. I won't want to fight Mike Tyson.
No, he's a scary looking man.
Yeah. I think he's
just
just
a series I truly loved. Played this with my brother and dad growing up. Played like the hell out of them. Bought the sequel. Played the hell out of that. Really nostalgic for me, and that's the Motor Racer game. So we got Motor Racer 1 and Motor Racer 2. So many hours on these as a kid. They look blocky. They look terrible, but to me, they were awesome back in the day. So it's just that whole nostalgic factor.
They're still awesome, bro.
I'd rather not play them because you don't want to be like, oh, this isn't as cool as I thought it was. But it's nostalgic to have them. I'm happy to have them in the collection. Here's another game that actually holds up today. Really, really fun kart racing game, and that is the Muppets Race Mania.
Oh, really?
A really fun game, yeah.
Huh. That's cool.
If you haven't tried this, definitely give it a go. It's super fun.
Did that get a release in America too? I'm assuming.
Good question. Someone in the chat might know.
I'm not familiar with it.
And here we have one. I usually try and collect. If I have one game from a series, I usually try and collect them all. Here's one I got a while back, and I haven't bought any of the other ones, so it's on the list. But it is the Namco Coliseum, volume number 2. I believe there's 5 of these, and it says MAMCO, and they're all lined up, and it looks really cool together.
I think those are cool.
Yeah, hopefully one day I'll get them all, but for now I've got one of them. Comes with 5 games on it, so it's pretty cool.
There's a pretty nice Capcom collection as well. That's like a multi-disc collection on the PS1 too.
Nice. They went crazy with that stuff on the PS2 and
Yeah, like good old days. Yeah, I remember like oh God, who was it? I think it's some like Switch Watch. They were like nowadays these companies will remaster one Genesis game, throw it on a Switch cart, and charge you $60. And like back in the day on the PS2, you would have gotten like 70 games for $14.99. You know what I mean? Like it would have been like what is going on?
Literally, but and they played better.
Yeah,
and they were complete.
Have you ever watched the AVGN episodes about the Taito collections on the PS2? It's like
Yeah,
it's like 2 episodes. He did like it's like 2-hour-long episodes about those 2 discs because that's how many games are on them. It's like holy crap. Yeah.
Next we got a racing game again. This is NASCAR 2000. I actually have a lot of fun with this game. The NASCAR games were a lot of fun. You could like drive backwards and just crash into everyone and just like turn it into a destruction derby game, and the game would let you. So it's fun. One I haven't played, probably never will. Has a pretty awesome artwork on the front. NBA Live 98. Because of my rule, if I find a cheap PS1 game, I put it in the collection if it's complete black label, as long as it's under $10. It's the only collection I haven't gone through and pulled all the shovelware out. PS1 games, at least in Australia, are just so hard to come by. So I'm holding on to all of them. Another one I didn't play, but I do love the series. I played other Need for Speed games on PS1, but I never played Hot Pursuit 3 until PS3.
Played a lot of Hot Pursuit.
This one
I used to love that game on PS1. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved, as a kid, it was just so fun running from the cops.
I played another. It's not going to be here because it comes under a double pack. But I played the Need for Speed Porsche games. Porsche Unleashed, I think it was called. Oh no, it's Porsche Challenge. Does it even Need for Speed? I didn't even think it was Need for Speed. I played this one. I always thought it was Need for Speed, but maybe it's not. It was a game. It must have just been Porsche.
I think it's maybe it is in the West because there's a. I remember there is one weird spin-off game.
It was Need for Speed Porsche 2000.
Okay,
so they definitely did a game. I'm pretty sure that is.
Yeah. I think so. I definitely know there's a Need for Speed Porsche games.
But like every game in the car is a Porsche game, and I had so much fun in that game. Like I genuinely want to put it on now and start playing it. So good. And got another racing game. A lot of racing games on PS1.
Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed is in the West. It's called.
Okay, fair enough. So we got Porsche Challenge and Need for Speed Porsche 2000. That's where it gets complicated when they have like multiple names, and there was 2 of them, and they like both have different names, and you can't work out which one's which.
We got High Stakes is the other one.
Next we have Newman Haas Racing. So it's like Formula 1 style. But it's not the official Formula 1 games. It does have all the drivers though. All the licensed drivers, so that would have been interesting, having both games having all the licenses. Another shovelware again. I just would have got this one cheap. NHL 99.
That game's probably fun.
Yeah,
dude, you know what game? I like NHL 95 on the Genesis. You ever play that shit, dude? That's a good ass game. That's
it's like a good
game.
Fight in those games.
Yeah, you can cheesy fight in those games, but that's still a fun ass hockey game, dude. And I still like NHL Hits on the GameCube quite a bit.
Those games were fun. Game. The Hits, the Blitz, all those games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I never played Hits on PS1. I played Blitz a lot, but I didn't play Hits until like PS2 and the GameCube for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I played it.
But I love Blitz, dude. Love stupid codes, giant heads, and shit like that. That was a lot of fun.
Blitz was fun.
Yeah.
Our last one today, guys, is a little bit cooler than the last few, and it is Ninja Shadows of Darkness.
Nice. Never
I
played
never
that.
actually played this one. I just picked it up lately, but it looks pretty cheesy, to be honest.
So I'm not familiar with it, but it was made. Eidos made decent games back then.
It's got
So
really cool artwork to it as well.
Eidos
is it
Force
like
on the
a
Tomb Raider team.
3D?
Yeah, it's a
3D
free
thing?
looking thing.
Yeah,
There's
Eidos.
like
That's what I'm saying. Back then,
Travel
Eidos on the
some
PS1 were
dragons and
like
that dinosaur.
that was probably cutting edge stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's that thing that like doesn't hold up well today because of how far 3D graphics and everything's come.
See, I don't know, man. I just look at PS1 graphics with like they have the sexiest thing. I don't know. I love the way those games look still. I just do. Man.
Lara Croft on PS1, peak.
Peak woman right there. Yeah,
Gosh, I hope those remasters come out with that physical so bad, dude.
Yeah, that would be that's what I'm waiting for too. Because I'd like to play them. I never played them. But just speaking of PS1, I'm actually playing Mega Man Legends right now. I took a break now that I'm playing Rebirth, but I never played it before, and I got it somewhat recently. But that game, it's very PS1. You look at it, it's PS1 graphics, but just to go along with what you're saying, it's just I think it's so charming. Like those PS1, like it's very appealing to me. Like I can see why somebody might look at it and be like, "Ew, it's ugly," but I don't get it. I think it's like it's very much so its time, but I think the charm is through the roof. Like all the colors, everything's very. I haven't played many PS1 games for a while, and it's made me go down a rabbit hole a little bit of like PS1 games I never played or I want to play again. I love it. I'm having a great time with it. But yeah, I think the PS1 had some charm for sure that it goes unnoticed sometimes.
I definitely agree with you in some aspects, but then there's some things like the loading times and like
memory cards suck. There's
like
definitely things about
it.
it.
This isn't as fun as I thought it would be. Different things like that. But nostalgic's a big thing too. Like I love playing games I used to play. It brings back old memories and different things like that.
So you had to be there, I guess. Like at the time, the PS1 graphics just blew me away, man. Like I thought coming from off the Super Nintendo was amazing. And I remember playing N64 and thinking it looked like butt, dude. Like I did not dig that. I did not dig how the N64 looked at all. I thought the PS1 smoked it. So I was always like, yeah, PlayStation's the best. So especially now that I throw those in an emulator and upscale them, it's like a whole new experience. I'm like, man, God, it looks so good. Doesn't, but
yeah,
doesn't.
I'll never forget my first time playing Final Fantasy 7 or Metal Gear Solid on PS1.
Yeah.
Like those at the time, they were mind blowing. Like I mean they haven't aged well, sure, but they still have that 7. I mean, even the pre-rendered backgrounds look cool still. Like, I mean, they'll have their things. I don't know. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I know it's nostalgia. Like, I know it is. Like, but it literally is. Like when I boot up a PlayStation 1 game and that's that boot up screen. That
you're like, oh, that sound.
It does. It just does something.
Yeah,
it does.
No, I get it.
Like, I'm trained like a monkey. Like I know I'm gonna like. It's like like you hear the bell and you're getting a cookie. Like when I hear that boot up sound, my mic. Oh man.
Yeah, you grab your piece of pizza and sit down.
It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna call out of work. I'm gonna call out of school. I'm gonna play Xenogears all day.
Yeah. As I was playing Mega Man Legends one day, my wife came in the game room and she was like, "So what is this? It's so ugly." And I was like, "It hurts." Like that hurts.
Oh,
but she didn't grow up with PS1. Like she didn't play mini games until we'd met really. So it just to her, it's just like, why would you play something so old? I'm like, you don't get it. Nostalgia, man. It works. But I don't even have nostalgia for Mega Man Legends.
It's the same reason why your kids won't want to play games that even came out 5 or 10 years ago. Like future generations aren't going to like games that we like because it just makes sense. They got their Fortnite and Roblox. They don't want to play new stuff.
Sad, really.
Guys, on that way, we might call that one a night. Chris, thanks so much for coming on, man. It's been a blast chatting with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Where can people find your podcast?
Podcast is basically anywhere where you can stream podcasts. So Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. It's on YouTube now, but it is. I don't do video, so it's just a static image on YouTube. But it's something I'm flirting with the idea of trying to incorporate now that I have a more now that I have a YouTube channel, I'm trying to think about what to do. But yeah,
Puppets?
it's
Mhm.
oh,
No, sorry.
puppets would be fun. But yeah, basically anywhere you can listen to podcasts. So
Nice one. I've got
And
some
it's
links below, guys.
X Button
Be sure to go
Gaming,
drop a follow.
correct?
yeah,
X Button Gaming.
Gaming. So X Button Gaming,
cool.
and yeah, and you could find. I'm on Instagram at X Button Gaming. I'm on X, Twitter, whatever, to X Button Gaming 1. So
Man, this X Twitter thing, we have to figure
If
this
you do
out.
own the original Xbutton Gaming account, get in contact with us.
that's what I know. It's
He's out
when
there somewhere, right? Listening to one random podcast.
I need to find it. I need to contact him and see if I couldn't get it, because when I bought the domain for this, I went to every social media, even if I didn't plan on using it, and registered the name, and I got X Button Gaming everywhere but Twitter. I'm like, it's the only one where it's X Button Gaming 1. So
It might happen one day. Who knows? I know Twitter are like deleting old usernames that people don't use and things like that.
maybe I can swoop in.
There's hope. Oh, guys,
Yeah.
thanks so much for watching. Chris, thanks for coming on. It was a blast, man.
Yeah, thanks again. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was really cool, man. It was a great show. And thanks for watching, everybody.
Have a good night, guys. Peace.
You found the